What's up, everybody? We are back. I know it's been a minute since we dropped an episode. I was busy out in Boston doing Dead City Season 2. Things got crazy, but we just got back from San Diego Comic-Con. We met some amazing people, got some amazing interviews, and we're about to start dishing out all that awesome content. The first one we're dropping today is our tour of the NECA booth. Matt and I love NECA. I got 2 shelves of them right here. Just loaded up amazing toys. We got to talk to our friend Blain, friend of the show. He designed a lot of these toys. As usual, follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at LaunchpadPod, on our website, launchpadpod.com. Hopefully you're checking it out on YouTube so you can see all the cool shots of the toys that are coming out, the con exclusives, the stuff that's going to be released next year. Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. Let's get on with the show. NECA Booth Tour, San Diego Comic-Con 2024. Let's go.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Launchpad Podcast. We are here at Comic-Con 2024. It has been a fun con, am I right, Rooms? Like, we've been getting a lot of cool views, a lot of cool stuff. We are here with our friend Blain at the NECA booth. Woo. You guys might remember him showing us last year, me and Rumi drooling all over all of your stuff. Blain, how's the con going so far?
Great. It's obviously, this is always the most fun part, getting to talk toys, getting to interact with the community. So this is the best part. I like it.
You were one of our favorite interviews last year because it was like, it wasn't interviewing, it was bullshitting about the toys that we all love. So literally the first one we scheduled for this year. So we got to get into it. Awesome. What do we have? I mean, there's so much stuff. What do we want to start with? What do you want to tell us about?
Well, let's start with Horror Holiday. Every day's Halloween in our house, but we're extending it off to Christmas. And we've got the Krampus action figures, which were up for pre-order already, but these are the first time people are able to see them in person. We're able to see the massive scale when we say deluxe. I think Krampus himself goes over 10 feet, so super detailed. He's got real chains. All the little bones and bells and whistles actually disconnect, so you can kind of customize him. The Dare Clown has different jowls, so you can recreate that incredibly disturbing snake scene from the movie.
I love that there's little feet sticking out of his mouth right now.
Yeah, and they plug in, so you can kind of have that massive jaw exposed, or you can have it with the feet plugged in. And
that's
there's a
so
closed
rad.
jaw and everything.
Question about Krampus.
Yeah.
Is there a face underneath the face?
There technically is. It is plugged in. It is keyed in, but we did a full sculpt underneath. Yeah.
Wow.
And he will come with 2 tongues.
Yes.
They both plug in, and one is bendable. So don't get too nasty, guys.
I love that. That's fantastic. And I got to say, that's one of those things too. And I feel like the movie Krampus, and you guys probably have a lot like this, you only get so many glimpses and shots of the actual creature, you know, villain in the movie. Now you can actually see it 3D modeled. You could see under it, behind it. You could see his little hooves sticking out. Yes. It's a really cool way to examine the character.
Yes, absolutely. And that was actually the reason that we did a sculpted head underneath the Santa skin, so that when you are looking at that facial expression, that was a big thing in the movie where when you looked at his face, you saw the eyes inside. So that other sculpt in there, we've got a fully decoed face underneath. We've got the glossed eyes. So when you're looking at that figure, there is that depth. So
that is rad. And like, we literally were shooting the shit at dinner the other night. Like, this is why we love NECA so much, because even back in the day, you guys were on it for the, like, you are us. You know what we want, and you've only gotten better.
Yeah, not only are we fans of the IPs that we work on, but we're also a little eccentric and obsessive. So we watch the movies over and over and over at home, at work. We take thousands of screenshots, And it's honestly part of the fun. I think some people might think it's daunting. I love that we spend a little more time than some other companies just on the research and development. Prey, for example, I think I watched 37 times in the first week it came out.
Yes.
So just getting to see all those little details and like, oh, I never noticed he actually had a scar there. So it's fun to
that's
get
so
those
cool.
details. Yeah.
It's, as a quick side note, we talked to one of the artists in the original Batman vs. Predator comic series, which was like 91. And he was explaining how hard it was because the only reference he had was 2 VHS tapes. That's it. That's all he could do, and it's crazy. And it's interesting to think of the age that we live in, the sophistication of the technology and the research materials that you guys are then putting into making toys. It's so cool to see that whole evolution.
Yeah, and like you said with Predator, the older movies from the 80s, we don't always have turnarounds, reference photos. And we know our fans are super fans because we are, and talking about like shoulder pad armor, the netting, like where things are placed, where the loincloth is placed. We really do try to hone in and get those details just right.
Well, speaking of Predator, I see a couple right here.
Yeah. We've got, of course, our Ultimate Feral Predator, which is the wide release. We have the Bear Blood, which was part of Haulathon and is now a wide release. If you didn't see that movie, just an incredible scene, and being able to turn that into plastic is awesome.
That's the best reveal we've ever had on a Predator. Yeah, that's so cool.
Very cool. And then the Comic-Con exclusive is the camo reveal Predator. So you have him kind of phasing in and out of cloaking, and just the amount of accessories are...
I love the accessory he's holding right there.
Yes. I loved in the movie that it was the first time you kind of got to see how they create their bone trophies. He's got that little spray machine, and he kind of like disinfects it with acid. So he actually does come with that little spray machine, and he comes with the wolf head, pulled out from the spine, but he also comes with kind of a clean sprayed one. So yeah, just fun little details.
Oh, so it comes with 2 spines?
Yeah, 2 skulls.
2 skulls.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And in the same vein as 20th Century /Disney /Hulu /FX whatever you want to call it these days, just revealed this weekend is the Alien Romulus, and I am super excited for this movie. I can't give too many spoilers away, but you see the accessory set and the Scorched Xenomorph. People are like, why did you make an accessory set without the humans? Well, we will have some more news coming soon, but this accessory set pertains to the movie, and I can't give away this piece, but wait till you see the film. It's next month. It's in like 3 weeks. I'm super excited to have Alien get back to, there's a real person in a suit. There's the mist line for the face huggers. I could geek out about Alien all day, but
all right. I don't want a spoiler, but is it more akin to Aliens, even Alien 3, even Alien Resurrection, more so than Prometheus and the other one?
Yeah,
Covenant.
Yes, this is really kind of taking it back to the basics. It's an in-betweequel. So it takes place. Yeah.
I never heard that.
You like that? It takes place after Alien, while Ripley is in that 57 years of cryo sleep.
You see everything in the trailer, but still see it.
No.
You see everything in the trailer. My man.
I'm telling you, you don't see it.
Camera rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so it's great, and it's isolated. It's its own story, and I think that it really makes sense, and it works within canon. So I don't think you're going to be disappointed. It ties into the original Alien and kind of gives nod as to how and why the rest of the movies happened.
All right.
Fired.
It won't come out for another at least week or 2.
There you go. Awesome.
We'll bleep it if we need it. All right. Well, tell us at least without giving spoilers away, but from a design and production aspect, why do you like this figure? Why does this figure mean something to you?
Mostly because, like I said, instead of everything being CGI, as with most movies now, they're starting to get back to that nice blend, and having the alien, the xenomorph in a suit gave us the opportunity to see turnarounds of what that xenomorph will look like versus concept art that's just going to be overlaid with VFX later on. So that's probably my favorite part, is when you see the xenomorph, you're seeing like a real person in a suit, and getting to see that, we haven't really seen those kind of pictures since the original. The Warrior Aliens and Aliens were practical, but very dark, and they were fun designs. This one, I don't know. It's very Giger.
I'm just happy to see the clear headpiece with the skull inside again. Like, that is such a cool touch that we've gotten so far away from. But the original Giger art, it's just like, this is so cool.
You see the humanoid eye sockets in there, as in with the 1979. And if you pay attention to the dome, it is called the Ultimate Scorched. That dome is removable and interchangeable. And I'm not going to tell you why, but it's there.
That's super cool. You know,
that's cool.
And you literally, this is your job, but like, there are a lot of creatures that have been in these movies, characters that have been in these movies for dozens of years, right? And sometimes when the design changes, the aesthetic of the overall creature changes, even if you're just chewing a little bit. And I think especially you guys probably get like shit from the fans where like, that's too different. I want it a little different, but not different enough. I feel like the Xenomorph is a fun character where you can change a lot of nuances without really changing the overall design. And I just looking at this is the first good look I've seen of this version. Is there anything in this one that's different from what came before that you like from a design aspect? Because you know this creature, you've dealt with this creature. Is there anything on this toy or this design that you really like is a fun addition for you?
Yeah. I would say the fun addition is Alien Resurrection was a fun movie. I'm a fan of the whole franchise. But something that I loved what they did with their Xenos was kind of give the hinged leg. It was in the dog alien, but you didn't get to really see it as much, and the technology back then wasn't as great. So to see an upright Xeno with that like kind of hinged back leg, I really liked that design from Resurrection, and I like that they included in here, and it's subtle. And I like how you were saying you can change things, but still give the core look of a Xeno. This looks like a Giger Xeno, just updated for, the now.
Awesome.
I love it. I love it. I could talk about Aliens and Predator all day.
I know.
Now, Rumi, do you have anything that you want to talk about with these figures right here?
Oh, yes.
Talking about the American Werewolf 2-pack.
So I am obsessed with this new 2-pack. I cannot wait. I have been wanting a Jack toy to go with the wolf one that you guys released.
Yes.
Tell us about the different phases of decomposition on Jack and what that looks like for this pack.
Yeah, that's my absolute favorite part about this 2-pack is that it's kind of getting a 3-pack. You're getting Jack, before he didn't keep off the moors.
My shelves will never see this version of him.
Yeah, right. But the jacket and the arms are swappable.
Yes.
So you're getting a different jacket with the tears, with the gore, and the alternate expressions. If you're a fan of American Werewolf in London, every time David sees Jack, he has a different level of decay. And we put that in with the alternate expressions. So you can swap it out and get every single iteration of decay that Jack has. And another fun little addition, though it wasn't seen with David in his Moore's outfit, you get that fun little nightmare head, which the sculptors and the painters just did a phenomenal job. And you look at it and you have nightmares.
Oh,
yeah.
It's so
I've
good.
known this guy for like 20 years, and I can't tell you how many times he was like, when are they going to make a Jack figure? Not like he didn't care who it was. And then you did a Toonie Terrors one.
Yes.
And I was like, dude. And he was like, no, I want an ultimate good one.
I did it just for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still waiting on that Predator Cold War figure we talked about last year.
I will say, without saying, obviously 20th Century Fox was transitioned into Disney. And not that there was like an awkward pause for any specific reason, but we wanted to give the studio a chance to find their bearings. And with the release of Prey, I think they're kind of going that track and staying true to the franchises that came before the acquisition. And now with Alien Romulus, I think it is opening the door to go back and revisit some iterations of
Predator
characters.
Cold War.
I can't say anything, but the universe will continue to expand.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. I see some stuff on this bottom shelf here that we have. There's a significance between us and for our panel this year, you helped us out with some stuff. Tell us what we got down here.
Yeah, so this is Ghostface Inferno, and last year at New York Comic Con, we were talking, of course, the Ghostface Takes Manhattan was the exclusive, and we were talking about this that was just in concept at the time, and I was kind of geeking out with you, my love for Ghostface, my love for, you know, film, game, media where Ghostface is featured. And Ghostface Inferno was a really, really fun opportunity, though we don't have the license to any movie. This was a really fun opportunity to kind of expand the Ghostface universe, utilizing masks and costumes that were part of the Fun World catalog. So we've got the chrome mask, which is super chromed out. I mean, you're not seeing vacuum seal like this on many figures ever at all, really. So that super chrome mask was fun to do. We had the aged mask that we were able to put in Ghostface Takes Manhattan. We've brought it through to this one. The aged mask is different. So if you have Ghostface Takes Manhattan, there's a different deco on that aged mask. And if you're familiar with people wearing the aged mask, you know that there were two very distinct ones. So pay close attention to that. And then you have the devil mask, which was featured in a video game. And this was fun because it's the first time we did an open robe. So we actually have a sculpted buck underneath. We've got sleeveless arms. We've got a bulletproof vest, which is really fun. Ghostface is becoming more and more known for wearing a bulletproof vest. And I did a few bullet placements to kind of pay homage to a specific gut-wrenching scene from a movie. And again, some fans with the accessories might notice there was a 30-second YouTube review of a made-up movie within a made-up movie, and I really kind of pushed the limits and tried to give nods. So Ghostface comes with the flamethrower that has a removable flame attachment. He comes with 2 machetes. He comes with a pitchfork. And if you have a keen eye, you will notice every single one of those is a nice little love letter.
That's
Nice
so
little
cool.
nod.
It's so cool. And it's like, you know, you put that much love into crafting it.
Oh, yeah.
We have the same love for the films, for the characters, for the toys.
Yes.
And I think that's what kind of keeps us in the same team almost, right? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I talked about this last year with Ghostface Takes Manhattan. Marty Henley, who is one of our digital sculptors, wasn't really doing a lot of horror. And when he was assigned this, he actually texted me on the side and was like, I'm so happy about this. I'm such a Scream movies fan. So to be able to work on Ghostface and the little things he brought to it that wasn't part of my design. If you look at the masks at 7-inch scale, these masks are tiny. They actually have the breathing hole on the top of the upper lip. The voice changer holding hand. He fabricated an all new voice changer, which is a little more accurate to a voice changer you might have seen. The voice changer hand is just accurate to how specific characters held it. So not only having a fan, you know, design it and having fans talk about it and love it, but the sculptor to get in as well. You really do notice those little changes from our first Ultimate Ghostface to the new iterations.
Yeah.
this is, I would literally listen to you talk about every single figure. You could talk about stuff and stuff that I didn't even know or care about. I'd be like, yeah, tell me about that.
Right.
But where do you want to go next? What's something else that you'd be excited to show us?
Top Shelf is pretty exciting. These two specifically, because I believe this is the first time in our Universal Monsters line that we're actually getting additional characters from the same film. We have two Frankensteins, one from Frankenstein, one from Bride of Frankenstein. But here we've got the Mummy and Invisible Man. And we already have Mummy in the wraps. Now we've got the Ardeth Bay version. We have the Invisible Man in kind of his suit and lab equipment. And now you're getting the Kemp House, kind of his house robe and his pajamas. So it's really fun to have the Universal Monsters be so successful that we're able to go back to the same movie and give different iterations of that character. So they're really fun, and the details super fun. We're expanding with technology, much like the Vincent Price Kemp House Invisible Man has an interchangeable shirt piece. So he goes from pajamas to that little ascot. So not only are you getting alternate expressions, but you're getting alternate pieces to make the figure customizable. And I just think that's really cool.
It's really cool.
So I love when we do things like that. I love when we do like the Crypt Club 4-pack here. This is a nod to the old kids meal toys from fast food. We recreated them, but in the ultimate style. And the Crypt Club is cool because even if you ordered those Crypt Club loot crates where we put a figure in, this is a 4-pack. You get the addition of the coffin, which was from the kids' meal toy, but the packaging is really going to be what sells it. I'm a one to rock, one to stock kind of guy. So I have the loot crate ones came polybagged, so they weren't in packaging, and I'm fine opening them, displaying them. This one, the packaging is actually, Chris Ramo, our package designer, is actually designing it to look like a fast food display when you would go in and see all the toys displayed. So it's going to be, they're going to be laid out. It's going to be really fun. And that's going to be the one I just keep packaged on my shelf. So fun stuff. And of course, Megan and Chucky, we kind of revealed these. We kind of teased them. We have them on display here. They're just so much fun. Who doesn't dream about horror toys coming to life and running amok?
We had a very in-depth discussion about a Chucky in a Toy Story world where if toys do wake up and are talking when we're not there, when Chucky's, Charles Lee Ray's soul enters that doll and Andy leaves the room and his whole room comes alive, and then Charles Lee Ray is now like, what the fuck? You guys talk?
Right? I kind of want to see a meetup between him and the doll head.
Oh,
the
yeah.
hairless doll head. On,
the spider
technics.
doll, yeah.
Yeah, spider.
Where like Chucky's actually afraid and like,
yeah.
I can see that in the show. Have you been watching the show?
Yes. Yeah. It's so much fun. It's so ridiculously campy.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Child's Play series, but with what Don Mancini did with Bride of Chucky, it just like kind of revamped the series. And Bride of Chucky is my absolute favorite. And to have this series bring in the lore of that, bring in Jennifer Tilly, poke fun at, Seed and Colt, where Jennifer Tilly was playing Jennifer Tilly, playing Tiffany, playing Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah.
I love an Inception.
They're so having good. So much, like they're having so much fun with it. And again, like we know that they're fans. We know that they appreciate us as they're doing these things. And like you said, fun, campy, like off the wall where you're like, what? But it works and you just enjoy it, right?
Yeah, campy meta horror is obviously my favorite horror genre. So anytime that they're able to creatively poke fun at themselves, I'm all in.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So the next shelf, we've got the Ben Cooper kids collection, the Halloween kids collection. These are so much fun, and the reception on these have been so incredible. The first 2 waves we've got displayed on this side, these are actually recreations from the original Ben Cooper costumes. That's been really fun. Randy, our VP, a huge fan of the costumes. Plenty of pictures of him dressed in these costumes as a kid. So this has been his passion project. Super happy at how well they're doing. And now with wave 3, we'll see on the other side, we officially got to dive into licensed IPs. So not only are we going to recreate some of the costumes that were licensed back then, we've got Gremlins, Alien, Beetlejuice, but you'll also start to notice that we are doing kind of a what if series. We get to make up Ben Cooper style costumes. If Beetlejuice was a Ben Cooper costume, what would it look like?
That's so cool.
And with licensors seeing that and seeing them excited, we've been able to branch out even further. So once you see waves 4 and beyond, you're going to see a lot more what ifs, and you're also going to see maybe some newer IPs that we thought of if these movies existed in the 70s, 60s, 80s. What would those costumes look like? So,
man, that's awesome.
When I was a child, I had this right here, Kankenstein.
Nice.
As a very little kid, I wore it to preschool with a inside-out Notre Dame jersey, because green, biker gloves, biker boots, and my memory is John Carpenter's Halloween through the mask of kids crying, me being taken to the office, having my parents come pick me up, all within the mask. Heavy breathing. Yeah, everybody was scared.
Slicing your tongue on the
maddening. I got sent home.
So I love. Great. That's why these are doing so well. That's why Alf has been doing so well. It's why we just revealed the Murder, She Wrote figures. That's doing well because they're tied to memories. So we really, really love hearing those stories. We love when it ties to a memory.
Being made to watch Murder, She Wrote reruns with your grandma? Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Speaking of tied to memory, I think I put my entire childhood on one shelf.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Yeah. So we did reveal Vincent Price. talk about honor to design these things. What I love most about the Vincent Price Ultimate is that it's not movie specific. It's just him as a person, which is really incredible. And I was able to design Vincent Price throughout the years. And really, when we say ultimate, like this ultimate, you can get Vincent Price from, you know, every era of his fame. You've got a young, kind of middle-aged, older expression. We also have those interchangeable neckties. So you've got a necktie, a bow tie, and of course, an ascot. And then in addition, I don't know if you know, but he was a chef. He wrote a cookbook. So we've got his official cookbook there. We have some of the vinyl records that he actually recorded. I wanted to throw a bottle of Tilex in there. Didn't get approved. For anyone that knows Vincent Price, I don't know why I was obsessed with old ass Vincent Price in a Tilex commercial. But it was, talk about campy meta horror poking fun at itself. It was just like, this is the guy from The Raven and House on Haunted Hill, and of course Edward Scissorhands. But so cool. I just, being a child of the 80s, so cool to be able to do that. And then of course, talk about childhood, ultimate Pee Wee Herman. We revealed and released Toonie Pee Wee this previous year, which was an honor in and of itself to do. But to be able to do a Paul Rubens Pee Wee Herman, Pee Wee's Playhouse ultimate action figure is a flipping dream come true. The sculptors and Jeff, who painted these expressions just for this show, phenomenal job capturing those expressions. I was very, very particular. So bless the entire NECA team for bearing with me. I was very particular about my Pee Wee and which expressions should look what way. And I love the way they captured it. Terry is the accessory here. And this is not all. We're not showing everything. There's some more Pee Wee coming. But yeah. And of course, I purposely put Vincent Price and Pee Wee on a shelf with Elvira because it just makes sense.
It's awesome.
So we have what was originally just a 2-figure line. It was just a retro 8-inch cloth and a Toonie, has now expanded to 8 different figures between Toonie and retro. So of course we have them all displayed here. The newest release being the Over the Rainbow, which we released for Pride and worked directly with Cassandra Peterson and the Human Rights Campaign to donate back. So when you order that from the NECA store, you're actually helping out the community. Have to give my gratuitous plug.
You designed this, man.
I designed that.
This, to me, seeing the journey of you designing this, getting it out there, and the Pride during Pride.
Yeah.
Incredible, man.
Yeah, it was really great because I didn't want to just slap a rainbow on something and call it a Pride edition. It actually includes an accessory of her memoir, Yours Cruelly. And in that book, when she released it, that's how she came out of the closet after, 70 years. 20 years with her wife. But so it was important to include that book as an accessory. And in the book, she talks about how in writing Mistress of the Dark, she wrote parallels to the Wizard of Oz. And that was kind of the idea for this. She's from Kansas. Her character's from Kansas. So I did this kind of Wizard of Oz homage with the yellow brick road, the ruby slippers. Elvira never actually wore a rainbow dress. So I got to work with Cassandra and design an original Elvira dress. Awesome. So I will die a happy man now. Like I'm out. I'm done. Mic drop. So yeah. And then just to let Cassandra know, to say in a meeting, listen, I have this idea, but I don't want to release it if it doesn't give back. I don't want to just pander and slap something on it. And she was like, well, I'm a donor to HRC. I'm actually also a donor, not quite as much as her, but I'm also a donor to HRC. So it was really great to just have those dots connected and to be on the same page as Cassandra and to be able to work with her on that. And again, like I said, to be able to give back is really special. So it's just incredible to work on our line. And here at Comic-Con, we revealed Commando Elvira. It went up on Walmart Collector Con with an autographed edition, sold out. So thank you, everyone. But a wide release is coming. And this is the first Elvira action figure that's specific to the movie Mistress of the Dark. So this is that elbow scene where she comes out and she's got the bazooka. She's got the Rambo scarf, the tattered dress. The accessories have an all new dagger. So we've resculpted her dagger. Face plates, which we're rolling out on all Elviras now, so you can swap with any other Elvira figure. Oh. New bracelets. Obviously, I said the new dress. She comes with Aunt Morgana's spell book, which you see back there on a little bit of a hidden accessory piece, which
couch.
Actually, is a little too small in scale for the retro 8-inch. So darn on that, but I don't know what that means.
I love
on to the next show.
I love the bazooka because it reminds me of like Todd McFarlane's Spawn era. Like
someone
Spawn
said that yesterday.
I said that.
Okay, it was you. All right. Okay. That was fun because that's not a real thing. She was like, "Oh, we just took some like PVC and like
that's what it looks
made
like.
it." And I was like, "Oh, well." When you go, she's got, you know, her archive warehouse. So, oh, when you go, can you take pictures? I don't even think I have it. So like we spoke about earlier, it went back to just rewatching. And that scene is very dark and very like red lit and blue lit. And so just going back and trying to find as much detail as possible. And I worked with Anthony, one of our fabricators, to reinvent this bazooka because there were no reference photos. So that was fun too, because darn, I had to go back and watch Mistress of the Dark 40, 50 times.
Yeah.
I suffered through it somehow. And also this new faceplate is probably my favorite and best Elvira expression we've done. So really cool to have new expressions getting into the mix.
That's
It's
awesome.
fun. Very fun. And of course, we talked about Alf a little bit earlier, childhood, pop culture. Born to Rock Alf is up for pre-order now here at Comic-Con. We've got the totally 80s Alf that we revealed. We also have Super Alf, which is one of our exclusives. And totally 80s Alf was really fun. I'm going to pat myself on the back. We wanted to include an 80s video game console, and we did not have the rights to anyone. So I made up a video game console. And as a huge video game nerd from the 80s, I took pieces of Atari, pieces of Nintendo, pieces of the original Sega Genesis, which most people don't remember, mashed it all together, and now you've got this TG5000, which pays homage to Thomas Gwynn, our sculptor on Alf. So
Very
pretty
cool.
Pretty cool.
Tell him about the Comic-Con Alf. I see he's got a little poster tube. He's got his selfie stick.
Yeah, so last year's Cosmic Con Alf, we had Alf as if he was going to his own Comic-Con convention, and he had, you know, his backpack, he had his lanyard, and we wanted to continue that and roll that into this year. So this year at Comic-Con, Alf has, you know, walked the floor. He knows how Comic-Con works. Now he's cosplaying. So this year you've got kind of a homemade superhero outfit with Alf. He's got his selfie stick, though it's illegal here on the convention floor. Alf makes his own rules. So he's got his selfie stick. He has a poster tube. The poster tube, I love breaking the fourth wall and parody. The poster tube actually has a small sticker sheet. And though they're not licensed stickers, you will notice some of those logos. So it's customizable. You can stick them to the poster tube as you see fit. And the poster tube actually does have a little poster in there.
What's on the poster?
Oh, that's fantastic. So I like the narrative that you're weaving, that like last year he came, now he's kind of getting it. So I'm imagining next year's exclusive will be like him, and he's like tired and he's sweaty and he's got like, I'm going to go get lunch.
Me, Sunday, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Next year's Alf exclusive is Sunday at 4.
His water bottle, the Tempur-Pedic shoes, you know, he's got it.
We're going to have to retool an entire new figure because his fur is going to have to be sweaty AF and just matted to himself. So
that would be hysterical. Think of the scope for that.
Right? Lots of fun. Lots of fun. I love poking fun at stuff. But yeah, I love storytelling. So anytime we're able to, you know, like with Ghostface Takes Manhattan, my idea for that was like, what if Ghostface went to Manhattan and did the touristy? So what would he do? So the playbill and like the little Statue of Liberty. So it's fun to storytell. I like it. Yeah. Yeah.
That was a holy grail. I missed out on that. Now I'm going to have to like hunt it down on eBay and pay
I
way
wish
too much.
I had samples to give. When I tell you that thing sold out, it was a good problem to have. I was very, very, very humbled to have our first New York Comic-Con exclusive sellout. That thing went fast. So I will say Ghostface is not finished. So maybe there'll be ways where you're able to get certain pieces from Ghostface Takes Manhattan. We want to make sure that stays an exclusive for those that, you know, went out and hunted and got it. But yeah, maybe it ain't over for you yet.
Yeah.
Now, as you see, storytelling, I go from horror to kid-friendly horror to happy horror to happy to childhood memories. We've got Ultimate Sesame Street that was just revealed here at San Diego Comic-Con. The toonies, which are displayed on the other side, we already have up for pre-order. So everybody's been asking if an Ultimate is coming. And yes, we've got Bert, Ernie, and Count on display here. You'll notice they're not in 7-inch scale, much like our Chucky or our Puppet Master that are smaller compared to our figures. We did not want to lose the detail. And we don't plan on doing the human characters from Sesame Street. We plan on living, they would be way too big. We plan on living in that imaginative world. So we did them at a larger scale, so you're not losing the detail. When you look at these, you see the texture. They look like they're flocked. They look like they're made of cloth, like real puppets. And if you were collecting any of the Muppet or Sesame Street figures from years and years and years ago, these fit better in scale with them, so you can display them with some of your other branded collections. Yeah.
Now, I know you're saying you're not doing human, but dude, a Mr. Hooper, everyone.
I know.
Everyone.
If we did
would
one,
want that.
it would be Mr. Hooper. But I do like, if you're fans of the show, there's a beautiful little pencil sketch of him that hangs somewhere, and then maybe we can get that in as an accessory.
There you go. Barkley? Oh, okay.
Don't you start.
I'm gonna nerd out about Sesame Street because I got a 3-year-old and we watch a lot of retro Sesame Street. It's
I will say we have the entire catalog to the show right now, so we're gonna go as expansive and deep as we possibly can. We have big plans for Sesame Street. I love a pun. And of course, Nightmare Before Christmas. We actually released these figures years ago, and for the 30th anniversary, Disney and Tim Burton came to us and said, "Oh, can you re-release the figures for anniversary?" As we started going in, because clearly we passed the 30th anniversary, sorry guys, but as we went in, Stefan, who's on our product development team, noticed that a lot of the articulation and the deco was just a little outdated, and he worked his magic and fitted into the budget to retool a lot of these pieces. We have some new expressions for Jack and Sally coming, new articulation. You're getting a little bit of a better range. You're getting more solid deco. And we actually worked with Tim Burton to update, to be more reflective of Nightmare Before Christmas's style guide. So you're going to see a lot of new changes. So if you have these old figures, this is a great opportunity for you to get some updated looks. And if you missed out on these figures, great opportunity to dive back into a classic movie. Incredible. I watch it too many times a year.
If you can only pick one, Christmas time or Halloween time, when do you watch it?
Okay. So Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie.
I agree.
It does not start until 12:01 the day after Halloween.
I've always said that.
So
Halloween. I want your opinion. I want you to tell it. You agree?
But here's what I'm saying. At the end of Nightmare Before Christmas, Santa Claus is like, no, it's fine. I forgive you. But his real revenge is every year. He creeps up Christmas 1 week, until the day after Halloween. Christmas is like, bam, I'm here. What do you want now? That's Santa's revenge.
I'll take it because in my community, we just call Halloween Gay Christmas.
I didn't know. Is that a thing?
It's my thing. It's a Blain.
Sign me up.
That's awesome. Well, love the movie, love the figures, and yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it both
I'll
right
watch it
after.
anytime.
Yeah, why not?
July. It's Christmas in July right now.
We got
Why
it.
have I not been saying that about Krampus and Nightmare Before Christmas this whole time? It's like Saturday afternoon, and now it's
You heard it here first. That's a Launchpad podcast exclusive.
Christmas in July. Nightmare Before Christmas in July.
Nice.
There you go.
That's a sequel.
There you go. Oh, call
You know Tim Burton.
Yeah, right. So if you want to dive around, we have a few more.
Let's do it.
Couple new horror reveals. So our see-through cases, as we loop back around, I know we went out of horror, but this is NECA. We're always going back to horror. So new reveals here at Comic-Con. We have the new Ultimate Count Orlok Black and White Edition.
Amazing.
Yes. So rather than just re-release a black and white edition, this was a great opportunity for us to go and give you another look from Nosferatu. So you've got his riding cloak, hat, and whip. The wonderful thing is this is soft good. It's wired. You can interchange this with the colorized version. So you can put the riding cape on the colorized version. It still works. You can also swap out the heads and hands and get the colorized version just on this buck if you don't want to do the whole swap out.
I mean, he's pretty pale, so colorized to black and white wasn't a
it
huge
wasn't.
issue.
We wanted to make sure, again, just as you said, you know, he is wearing kind of browns and maroons, but he's so pale that everyone was like, well, why do you have to do two different versions? So giving you a ton of more accessories.
That's great.
You're not just getting like a slightly repainted figure.
That's cool.
And we have Horror of Dracula's Count Dracula up for pre-order now. And here at Comic-Con, we've revealed Van Helsing. So we have two legends who were like best friends playing mortal enemies in the Hammer horror films, Horror of Dracula. So we have Van Helsing here. Again, kind of like Vincent Price. I love when our Ultimates give multiple iterations within the same movie. So just between the alternate hands, gloved or ungloved, between the, you know, the hatted expression, the more kind of serious expression, the end of movie hammer and stake expression, you really do, between the two of them, kind of get to recreate multiple scenes from various parts of the movie.
And this, I mean, you guys do such an amazing job with the likenesses. Like, that's not just a specific Dracula. That's a specific Dracula played by a specific actor. And like, you got three heads of each, of, you know, three heads of Dracula, three heads of Van Helsing, and it looks just like them. It's fantastic.
Yeah, there are times as a NECA collector, as a fan before I was brought on to in the company, there are times where I get an asset for approval. I get the photography to approve for marketing, and this one was, I had to stop and I'm like, guys, this is a photo of a 7-inch action figure. Like I'm baffled. I'm like, that is Christopher Lee. Like, how is this? It was the same thing with the Phantom of the Opera Ultimate. I looked at that and I'm like, this has to, a 2-up is our prototypes and they're about that big. It's like, this has to be an image of a 2-up. Like, no, this was, you know, final pre-production. Sometimes it just hits me. I'm like, wow, our sculptors and our painters are effing incredible.
So let me ask you this then. As far as production, let's say you're making Christopher Lee Horror of Dracula figure. When you're sculpting that for the first time, is it in a 2-up scale or a bigger scale than 7-inch?
Yeah, it depends. There are some figures that our sculptors who are doing traditional sculpt, practical sculpt, will do at scale or maybe just slightly above scale. 2-up is really great to capture a lot more of that detail, and it really just depends on the artist. Traditionally, 2-up was the way to go. And then, of course, as we move into digital, they just sculpt to scale, but they can zoom in and out. So yeah, that 2-up is mainly for, you can't zoom in when you're sculpting with Castelline. So it's just an opportunity for them to have a wider canvas and get that detail. Yeah.
Now, as a horror collector, as a NECA collector, I thought I had gotten it all. I was like, well, I've rounded it out. But now you're cracking into Hammer horror. Are we going to see Curse of Frankenstein, the werewolves? Are we going to get to see some more Hammer horror?
You're going to get to see some more Hammer horror.
Oh my God, I need another Detloff shelf.
You're going to get to see some more Hammer horror. I can't say who or when, but this was really, I think these two were the right introduction into the Hammer.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, I can think of 6 Frankenstein films, at least 3 different Mummy films. I mean, the Mummy alone. I mean, there's just so many cool Hammer horror properties, and this is just.
I mean, Christopher Lee himself alone, maybe not just within Hammer. I think he played Dracula like 10 times. It's like an insane amount of time.
Insane amount.
Yeah. So
amazing.
Yeah.
We're all very excited.
Yeah. Even more exciting. Well, not more exciting, but this was fun because when our Texas Chainsaw Massacre figures had originally come out, I was not part of NECA, so didn't get my hands in it. This is probably the most disturbing horror movie I've ever watched. Like the whole dinner scene, just the cinematography with like the eye close, like the close up to Sally's eye. Super disturbing film. And as a horror lover and as an action figure lover, I wanted to have the opportunity to dip my toe somehow in the classics. And we have the 50th anniversary of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And when I got the project list for concept sheets and Pretty Woman Leatherface was on there, because the last time we did Pretty Woman Leatherface, it was when we did more articulated statues. So there's just minimal articulation. Not only did we get to go back and update Leatherface, but we got to do Pretty Woman Leatherface ultimate action figure, fully articulated, new sculpt, the accessories, the armadillo, the plate. That was fun. Talk about reference photos. It was like collective. Everyone in the studio taking screenshots, trying to figure out, I don't even know if we have the plate displayed here. We have like his dinner plate with like the sausages, and like we were trying to get like the sausage placement exact. So the detail, the love that goes into this, this was so much fun to design. And like I said, we also updated the ultimate Leatherface, going to come with additional heads, additional aprons. It's a sculpted apron now, not a soft good apron. So the blood placement, the sculpt, the fabric look, just you wait. And this is also not all you're going to see from Texas Chainsaw.
Oh,
yeah. To the left is the Evil Dead Ash and Cheryl 2-pack. It's Bloody Ash, which we had a variation of before. We were able to go back. Stefan was very adamant about making sure the blood placement was exact. So again, with the screenshots, when I did the concept sheet, that blood was exact. And then Cheryl was super fun to do because our packaging designer, Chris Rainbow, this is his favorite horror franchise, and he's one of my best friends. So to be able to do a concept of a figure that's never been done in action figure form from my friend's favorite movie, and then down on the bottom shelf, you have the packaging that he got to do. And that alone, he recreated the cabin, and it's a matte finish cabin, but the windows are in gloss, and you have the characters, the figures in the gloss window.
That's cool.
It's just this like I don't know. I enjoy The Evil Dead, not my favorite horror franchise, but seeing this and seeing the reaction to it, and you've got Cheryl in all three phases of her decay as well.
It's gnarly. That looks really good. Going back to Texas Chainsaw really quick. Now, I know you guys are doing the movies and doing some of that. What about Leatherface from a trailer that never was in a movie? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Leatherface, the Lady of the Lake raises this just gorgeous chromed out chainsaw with huge fenders on it, raises out, throws it in the air. Kane Hodder grabs it, lightning strikes. That's one of the best trailers ever in horror history. I don't care what anybody says, but that chainsaw, just saying, I'm throwing that out as an idea. Maybe that would be a cool accessory.
I actually don't know licensing who has the rights to
it's
that.
It's a mess. I guarantee you guys would need like 20 lawyers.
We love messes. Let's get it messy.
If anybody's going to figure it out, a chrome chainsaw for one of these guys to just hold up in the air, would be sick as hell. Come on.
We're giving you a lot of great free ideas.
Right? 10% these guys ask for.
I would just take two figures of each. What'd you say? One to rock and one to
rock, one to stock.
One to rock.
Someone had a better analogy, and now I forget it.
That's a pretty good one. I haven't heard that one.
All right, I'm keeping with it then.
That's amazing.
And then if you want to dive over to Toonie Terrors, these are fun because they are the horror icons imagined as a Saturday morning cartoon villain. So expansive wave, we're up to wave 10. Series 10 is Universal Monsters, so first time in the Toonie Terrors. We've got all four of those displayed in color. And diving away from color, this was a fun concept. Some of our characters have been featured more in black and white than in color. So on the top shelf, you see we have the Silver Screen Edition Toonies. And these are just a really, really fun, fresh packaged way to get these characters how you may have remembered them. So the first wave has the alien from They Live. It has Vampira, Vincent Price, and Nosferatu, who will all have been featured in black and white. So they're really fun. They were fun to conceptualize and repaint. And of course, Jeff Trapp, who designed most of them and designs most of our Toonies, just does a wonderful job in capturing that kind of, can't really say it, but I'm saying it, captures that Scooby-Doo-esque likeness. So
it's
really
cool.
Fun.
So awesome.
We were able also, speaking of Texas Chainsaw, we were able to reintroduce the Bloody Leatherface, which was an exclusive before, but it is a new Bloody Deco. So if you already have that one and you're a completist, this one's going to be different. We also updated the chainsaw. The The chainsaw is lime green, not yellow. I'm a stickler. So we updated that chainsaw in that toonie, and we have an all new, brand new Pretty Woman toonie. And this is my absolute favorite toonie we have ever done. Jeff Trapp and Adrian, who sculpts, when he designed this, I was just like, man, this is toy of the year. The base, the armadillo, the fact that we worked a simple, 4 POA figure to be able to articulate and get the chainsaw above the head.
Yeah.
And Jeff was like, I'm not going to do it if the chainsaw can't get above the head. So you can have the chainsaw up, you can have the chainsaw down.
Awesome.
I love it. I love it. And saving the best for last, not the best for last, I'm just saying. So the newest for last. The juice is loose has been my comment all weekend. The new Beetlejuice is coming out soon. We do have a little card here. We're going to be doing ultimates to the new Beetlejuice. We're going to be doing toonies to the new Beetlejuice. That is not lifted from embargo, so we have nothing to show here at San Diego Comic-Con, but please follow our socials. There's going to be lots of fun Beetlejuice coming. And to get that started, we went back to our original figures from Beetlejuice, from the cult classics. We are repackaging them, redecoing them. We now have DIJ, direct inkjet, where you've got that hypo-realistic facial deco. So these Beetlejuice, just, look a lot better. They're updated. It's a great way to get these back out in time for theatrical. And here displayed, you've got the Dante's Inferno Room diorama display. This is not a display for Comic-Con. This is being produced, most likely as a NECA store exclusive. We cheated scale a little, but when you look at it, I mean, it looks to scale. It's super fun. It has that 3D but kind of 2D look that you had from Adam's, tabletop. Well, I guess this one isn't Adam's. When did you put that in there? And the best part about this one, aside from all of its wonderful light up features, and you can see figures can actually stand on the display ledge there. But that spiked Beetlejuice, A, is completely all new. B, is an ultimate, so fully articulated with alternate hands and expressions. But C is going to come with this diorama piece. So that will be exclusive to this piece.
Well, I can tell what his expression is saying right now, and I have to say it too. Nice fucking model, man.
Probably my absolute favorite part as a kid.
It was my favorite part as a kid because my mom had the rule that if you are, she's like a theater gal, if you're just saying a lyric or reciting a script, it was allowed. So 7-year-old me was
Blain just walking around
as much as possible. Yeah. Great parenting, folks.
I love it. And this is so cool. You glossed over the light up, but the Dante's lights up one letter at a time. That's fantastic.
Yes, it is authentic to how you see it in the movie. So really, really incredible. And it takes 3 AAA batteries, and silly me forgot to turn it off Wednesday night. So this has been going for 3 days.
Woo! Not bad.
It's like a little Duracell plug or something.
Yeah, right. Now it's just become like my joke. I just want to see how long it will last. So this has been going 3 days constant, and there's a button on the back, so you can just flick that on, have it as a constant, or you can turn it off and just have it as a great display piece.
NECA, always making the coolest stuff and making it correctly. As podcasters, as fans, as nerds, we're so excited. This is always a must-hit booth. Now that we've gotten to know you and we get the inside scoop, it takes everything to another level. And I know that everybody watching, everybody listening appreciates all your work, everything you guys do. It's like any creator, it's the stuff that we love, right? The movies we love, when they're made with love, you feel it,
Absolutely. And I mean, obviously, thank you to you guys and to the fans and the collectors, because not only do you keep us employed, but you continue to give us the opportunity to get out the things that we love. So it's selfish, but thanks for being part of the community.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing Predator Cold War in the next couple of quarters.
Anything.
Where can we follow you? Where can we follow NECA? See what's going on both with you and with the company.
Sure. So for NECA, it's NECA Official on Instagram. It's NECA Toys on Facebook. We have the NECAstore.com where you can get most of our figures, also our exclusives. We just launched NECA Rewards, so you can actually earn points that go toward action figures. And then for me, it's just Blainer Things on every social media platform. Or cons. Stop by and see me.
Oh, yeah. He'll talk your ear off. We are the Launchpad Podcast here at Comic-Con International 2024, nerding it out at NECA.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.